GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson-Pussy from Caroline Girl Genealogy, and I have this fabulous, wonderful panel with me tonight that is, they are not behaving themselves. We just got started. We have got Shelley Murphy down there, our family tree girl. Hey, Shelley.
Hey, from Virginia. How is everybody tonight?
Good. We're so glad that you're here. I'm always glad when people show up. So we have a great panel. So I love you guys for showing up and being consistent and helping me out with this, because you know I couldn't do it on my own because I get in too much trouble. And anyway, we also have Bernice Bennett from Genealogist. Hello, Bernice.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
So glad you're here. And you know, I keep telling people when we have panelists that can't come on for a while, people ask, where are they? And I always have to say, well, they've got other lives and they're doing things.
Deadlines.
Deadlines. They've got deadlines. We have got from like herding cats, we got Jenny Hawran. Hello, Jenny.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
So glad that you're here too. And last but not least, we've got Laura Hedgecock from Treasure Chest of Memories. How are you, Laura?
I'm good.
Laura's been on a trip, so we're glad to have her back.
I went to the Shelley Murphy land, otherwise known as Virginia.
You came here and didn't contact me?
Uh-oh, never mind. We're going to have a
but she comes from my homeland, my second homeland, Virginia.
Oh,
yes.
Funny. Well, what we're going to talk about tonight is day 4 of Relative Race. Season 13 is at day 4. It's, you know, we're going to be done with this before we even.
I know.
They always go by
fast.
so fast. So I liked for day 4, they showed a little bit more of the family before they left, and they really haven't done that yet this season, but they seem to show a little bit more about them with their family before they left. Now, what cracked me up was Team Green.
I was so anxious. With them out in that paddle boat.
Yes. I didn't know what was going to happen with them in that boat. Or just being late.
Yeah, they get the text from Dan and they're like, oh, they can't get the thing rowed back. And it's just hysterically funny. I'm like, why? And we have said season after season, you need to let the teams come talk to us ahead of time so we can give them some tips on what not to do. And I am getting ready to let our archive lady, Melissa Barker, in. She was having some storms and she wasn't able to join us. So looks like she's, there's Melissa.
I don't know how long I'll be.
Okay, all righty. We just
started.
We got bad storms and hail, and my husband was out on the motorcycle. He just came in. So yeah, it was bad.
All right. Sorry. Oh no, be careful. But if you've got to pop back off, we were just talking about how distressed we were when Team Green was out in the paddle boat when they got their text.
Oh, that's nothing.
They got their text message. Like, you got a time limit, girls. Yeah. What are you doing? So, you know, and really a question that I would like to ask, and maybe if one of the team members is watching this, when does that time really start? Does it start once they get in the car and take off?
Or we've asked that question before.
Or does it start when they get the text message? Does anybody remember an answer? Laura?
Go ahead, Laura.
That's suspicious. This is how I think it happened. I think Green was all ready to go, and some producer said, there's some cute paddle boats over there.
That would make a good shot.
They wanted that shot. So I think they got an exemption for getting in the paddle boat because that's what the producer wanted. That's the reality that I can see.
We will have to ask them. That's too funny. Anyway, so we were just saying that we liked the fact that they showed a little bit more of the beginning of day 4 instead of just jumping right into the race this time. Team Black was sitting out on a little, looking over the water, just like a little balcony looking over the water. And I thought that was really sweet. I really like it when they're have that few minutes and they show us that few minutes before they start going. I'm trying to think. And of course Team Red, tearjerker, they took him to the cemetery.
But I loved relative race and what they did.
Yeah, I know, because they get to the cemetery, and of course, my first thought, and probably all of your first thoughts, was there's no marker. How long has he
Yeah.
been dead? He's been dead a long time. Why is there no marker?
2007.
Yeah, there's no marker, and I know they're expensive. I understand that they're very, very expensive, and maybe the family just couldn't pull it together to get that marker there, but you know, it's not going to spoil anything, just to go ahead and just say, you know, at the end of the day, relative race said we will put a marker there. And if you noticed at the end of the show, they showed it.
They showed the
Showed it.
picture.
It
They
did.
showed the
great.
marker.
It was nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was very, very,
So
very nice.
kudos to them,
Yeah,
for the employees and staff, you know, that did that. That
Yeah.
was awesome.
yeah, I thought that was awesome too.
Yeah.
And I
One
love
thing I picked
Go ahead.
up, Justin's, when he was standing over his father's grave, he
Yeah.
was just talking to him. That was his conversation with his
First
father.
conversation.
Yes, yes. And he said, it was a grieving moment,
Mhm.
but a happy moment.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. And you know, for people that aren't genealogists, they might look at that and think, okay, that's a little interesting, but hey, I go and talk to my family all the time.
Absolutely.
Especially those ancestors that I can't find information. I go
You should see
stand
me walk through that memorial
and
on
well,
the ones that I'm researching.
yeah.
I have conversation
Oh,
all
I
the way
do.
around that memorial.
I know. I stop and I say, look,
Yes.
I'm still not finding anything and I need your help. And my kids laugh at
Yeah.
me. So this is what we do as genealogists, or we have, heartwarming talks with,
Yeah.
those that we remember and we love. And so I thought that was a wonderful thing that they showed, and that, and
Are
that
there more siblings with Red?
I'm having a feeling that there will be. That's my,
Yeah, I'm getting that indication too. I don't know
Right.
about the rest
Yeah.
of you, but yeah.
right. I believe that they are. I'm trying to think, Team Blue, when they were leaving, I know that they were talking about they were talking to each other about who they thought they were going to meet. I know that was a lot of their
Mhm.
conversation in the car. But I was trying to think if there was anything that was going on before they actually left. Eric did say that he heard that his biological mother had said, tell Eric, don't try to find me. And so he's
Yeah.
nervous about that. So that part came out while he was still with
Yeah.
Abe's family. And so that was something that he worried about. But I loved when they were out on the road and they were talking about, and Abe was like, so I really, really hope that this is somebody for you this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
was hoping too.
so
Yeah. 3
so
weeks
honest
all on
because-
one person.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard when it's 3 weeks all on one person. And we've
Yeah,
seen,
it really is. And it's so honest. I mean, you have to hope some of it's for you.
yeah, even when you went in this saying, well, maybe, I don't know if I want to know. I really want my brother to find all this information. You know that he wanted something. He wanted something. So
And I think
Um,
it's strategic in their planning, in the road planning.
yeah,
Of why you got 3
I think so too.
things in
Mhm.
there, and then go
Yeah.
on to the next. And it's again strategic because which can't remember which team was California, or and I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute, where are they trying to judge? And then they're getting to California,
Yeah.
and stuff. So, and again, I think it's all strategic.
It's all where they live. And then
yeah.
sometimes, like we know, they bring them into Airbnbs. I know that there was a whole big thing on social media this week about, I can't believe that they're reading out the addresses of these
Yeah.
ancestors. Ancestors.
They don't want
their
relatives,
of their
right.
relatives. They don't live there. These are Airbnb.
Remember, we had Dan the Man on,
Yeah.
and that's one of the questions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So they're Airbnbs, and that's how
And
they
they're not even that. I think they just make up addresses and say them.
that
too.
could be
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
really.
Dan said they're not going to publish anybody's address. So
Yeah,
they just,
you would think
Right.
not. You would think not. So
Yeah.
anyways,
no.
anybody that's worried about that, we can
And I tell you what, it's got to take a lot of editing too,
Mhm.
because they're saying the address, which is the fake address, but then when they're looking for the house, I mean, they're calling out numbers and street names and everything. And so there's got to be a tremendous amount of editing to try to not get the street name.
Yeah, but like they're saying, some of those are real because it's just an Airbnb. It is the real
Yeah,
address
that's
of that
true.
Airbnb. So, because who cares if anybody knows the address of the Airbnb? Because the Airbnb
Actually, I
people
think,
might want to
I
say,
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're real.
well, they were saying on the Facebook page, the other team members were saying, yeah, that was the real address of the Airbnb. So, because the Airbnb people probably think, hey, this is good advertisement for my Airbnb. Say we shot relative race here, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's good advertisement for them. So anyway, as they head out for their challenge, I think Black Team thought that they had totally messed up, but they said, we looked at all the maps except for to Redding, California.
Yeah.
But they ended up finding the street and doing okay. The Team Green, I didn't think they were going to get out of where they were.
Yeah.
One
They
way.
started to go down the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right.
A do not enter.
Because wasn't one of the directions, the person that was giving them some assistance said, well, it goes both ways.
Well, that was one when they were asking for later
She said it goes both ways. And I
they
thought,
asked for
that's
directions
not helping.
and say you can either go to the right or the left. And I thought, what? That is like,
They were talking about, they didn't know where the house number was.
yeah.
Like, so they couldn't say, but if you go to that street, go to this way, you'll find the street, and then.
Yes.
But we don't know which way. Yeah, and that's probably, but that's not the way it came out. The editing. I was like, oh, that was kind of crazy. But
Yeah. Well, what you all think about Team Green, the sisters, coming up with this motto?
Oh, the motto.
Not worried about 50K, worried about winning the day.
Yes.
But they said it so many different times. I said, now, am I getting this right?
I know they were so
That was
excited
funny.
that they had this motto, and every time they filmed it, they couldn't remember the motto.
They messed it up.
They messed it up.
You're not worried about the 50K.
They were just worried about that day. That's what they were
That day.
That was
say.
it. But actually,
Mhm.
that's good advice in one point. Let's focus on the family. Who would
Exactly.
be?
They are so cute. They are so,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
they really are. So then they get to their challenge. The challenge was again something different that relative race has never done before. They let them choose
Yes.
whether they wanted the
Options.
physical or
The
mental.
mental.
And I was surprised who chose what. Were you guys
Yeah.
surprised?
I was.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to talk about it?
I would have went totally mental. I am versus physical,
Yeah.
not knowing what the physical was going to be. And that's why the mental, I'd have to figure something out and answer something per se. That was how I
Exactly.
took that. Yeah.
Right.
And that was safe.
And I'm like, Team Red, what are you doing? Why didn't you do physical? You're two strong, grown
Yes.
men. Why did you do physical? But the funny thing is the rubber chickens were back.
And then remember
mascot.
towards the end, that chicken and whoever was in the car put the
Those chicken
face
boots.
up. Yeah.
So they had to wear
that
these,
was funny.
whatever they chose, they had to wear the chicken boots. And every time they walked, of course, it squawked and squawked and squawked.
Yeah.
That chicken sound. So if they did, the physical, so let me explain the physical. What was the physical?
You kind of
Physical was, go
set
ahead,
up,
Jenny.
Good.
you
Oh,
had
I
to
was gonna
kind
say,
of
Laura.
set up dominoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stepping.
But you had to step over. You had to
Yeah.
step over these little things.
It was blocked out, sort of.
Yeah.
Right, and there was a way to set them up so you had to do them all a certain way or they wouldn't fall down.
Yeah.
For the
And some of them were kind
had
of curved on the
angles.
bottom. Some of them
Yes.
were curved on the bottom. So they had to
Yeah.
fit just right
Right.
in the little track.
Yeah.
So, but again, they had to wear
The-
those boots.
The
So,
boots.
as they walked through. And then if you did the mental, who'd like to describe the mental? It was a puzzle.
Well, just
puzzle,
putting a
yeah.
puzzle together, but the clincher there was there's some pieces that you didn't have to use.
And you put
at
them down one
first-
at a time, each 10 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Put one down,
yeah.
then the other person.
Each person. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kept wanting to say blue sky up at the top, up at the top. I'm sitting here talking to the TV.
And if
know,
you didn't have all your puzzle pieces, you had to run in those boots.
Yes. But blue was the sky. Get the blue up top.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was really great to give them a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
was different. That was
I
different.
liked that because if you had a hard time with it, it was your own fault because you chose you chose it. You couldn't blame relative race on it. You
Yeah.
couldn't say,
Right.
I physically couldn't do that. It was an unfair challenge. You're the one that chose it. So I hope they continue doing that. Maybe not every challenge, but throw a challenge
Well,
in there.
how did the standing up of the little brick looking things, how did that become
dominoes?
physical? Because the physical was the stepping in,
Yeah.
but what did setting up,
Probably having to run back and pick them up and put them back up again. Yeah.
I guess,
physical.
okay.
Yeah,
That
would
I
have been-
kind of didn't connect,
Yeah, would have been
You know.
physical. So
but
anyways,
it was
that
fun.
great.
It was fun.
And I
Yeah,
liked
it's fun.
yeah, it was really fun. And I liked the chickens. I liked them
Yes.
back on the show.
But
So,
Yeah.
thinking about all of these exercises and challenges that they do, I hope somebody is clocking this because those are great family reunion.
yes, we
Fun
haven't
thing.
mentioned our family reunion book yet this season. So thank
I
you.
just
Shelley.
said it,
Family race.
but
We need a family
these are
reunion
great
book.
ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
They all are, and safe and,
And
and stuff like that. So yeah, some I didn't like, but this was fun.
This
The
was fun.
puzzle was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these would have been good for that book. Yeah. So remember, Team Red is in the elimination down there at the bottom again, and they have got to beat another team in order to get out of that elimination. And so I think it's interesting that, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but I find it interesting that when we get to the results, we're doing two kind of results, so anyway, but we need to remember that Team Black came in first on day 3. So they got 60 seconds of GPS. Can you imagine only getting 60 seconds and you can't
And trying to remember.
and you can't write it down?
Yeah.
You
And
can
they had a
only-
lot of turns to
they had a
remember.
lot of
Once
turns.
they did their plan,
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, that was a lot of turns to remember in 60 seconds.
Yeah,
But they did it so well. I was
They
they
did.
did well.
I was so happy. A lot of people have those kind of minds that you can look at something
Mm-hmm.
and you keep it in your head. And so I'm wondering if that's
But they are ones that chose physical instead of mental.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, go figure. But they did really well with that. And a lot of times it hasn't worked out for a lot of the teams. It really didn't give them that much of an advantage. But I really think it helped them get quickly to their relatives' home. And while we're talking about Black getting to their relatives' home, let's talk about who they met. Who did they connect with? Anybody want to start off
Team
with?
Black.
Mm-hmm.
Team Black Ashley met a brother and a sister.
Sister.
And it took them a while to say that was her sister. I
know.
think she thought maybe
'Cause
that
I
was
thought
the
it was
brother's
his-
wife
I thought
or
it was his
something.
wife or something. Yeah. But his name is Aaron and her name was Delana.
Delana or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Something
so.
close to that.
Yeah.
Delana or
And-
Delana.
And he was so,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
he was so emotional about finding her and talking
Yeah.
about they had known about her.
But I have a
Right.
question. Were
Kids,
these
yeah.
two siblings, are they the children of the father she met the day before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
I believe
Yeah.
if
so,
I'm not
but-
mistaken, the father said he didn't know about her, but the siblings said that they always knew about her.
You're correct.
So,
You are
Well,
correct.
the father just didn't know he was the father.
oh, okay.
He just
Done.
he because she didn't name him on the birth certificate.
certificate.
And so he knew she had a baby. He knew he
But
could
the
have been
siblings said they
father.
knew about her for a long time.
They knew
I know,
about her.
So there's,
I think Melissa's right, because I think they said something about,
She's right.
their mom had said to them, remember, there's
You
one
gotta
more
Yeah.
out there.
Right.
right. Yeah.
So, yeah, so they
So
got
they never said anything to their
information from-
dad or something, because there's
Yeah.
Are they
something amiss
full
right there.
siblings?
Yeah. And I know they were talking to him about the fact that he remember we talked, she didn't put his name on there to kind of protect him. And so maybe, I don't know. I don't know that he and their mom are even still together. Maybe that's why that didn't, who
Yeah.
knows? We don't know,
Yeah.
but you're right, Melissa. That was a little bit of change in the story right there. So
Mhm.
something
Well,
in
as soon as
editing
they
or
said
something-
that, I thought, it reminded me that, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
because of course we don't know who talks to who and who whatever,
Exactly.
but
And a lot of that is just, and you remember even this season, something about a month ago or a couple months ago, we didn't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so at what time, you
Yeah,
know, and stuff.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
but
So
that was interesting, but that's a good genealogist
that's right. You got that.
conducting analysis,
Good. Yeah.
questioning.
Conflict. There was a conflict. She's trying to solve that conflict.
Yeah.
Well, one
Yeah.
thing I picked up from the brother and the sister was they just said the Colson family had a huge heart,
Yeah.
and they were there to welcome her. Even if they had
Yes.
distance, they were back together again.
Yeah,
And the
that's great.
experience was very emotional
It
experience.
was.
It was, they
For
were.
the
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They seemed to, yeah.
But even the sister, what she said,
Yeah.
I felt like home. She's not a stranger to me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, so they were just both, it was
Yeah.
really nice. It was
It
really
was
nice to
really,
see.
it's really beautiful reunion. Just Laura.
I thought the sister, I just got the impression that she expected it to be a little awkward somehow.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
And she was like
wouldn't?
saying,
Yeah.
there wasn't any.
Yeah.
It was just like I've known her forever.
And
Right.
that's what she said, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you imagine a lot of these family members, they prepare themselves, and I'm sure the producers and everyone also prepares them for whatever might come. And so a lot of people will will prepare themselves for the worst, so that if it is good, then it's good. But you know, if it's
Yeah.
worse, then you're ready.
Makes sense. That
And you never know what's going to be given or what's going to be received
Exactly.
when you come to the meeting. And you think about that even in our genealogy, and we meet distant cousins
Mhm.
or new cousins, and you kind of have some of those feelings, you know, stay
Right.
calm, be good, you know, and so yeah,
Exactly.
and imagining a sibling.
Yeah.
And I grew up with siblings, so
Yeah.
I don't know any other way.
But she didn't, and that's
Exactly.
what she
And-
did
and-
not grow up with siblings. She didn't
Yes.
know
She
how
was by
siblings
her,
work.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my point. It's
Right.
how do you open yourself up to allow something that you have not experienced and to come across, you know? And of course,
That's a
I'd
good
ask a
point.
bunch of questions, but again, it for us as researchers, we really see this quite a lot,
Sure.
you
Sure.
know.
I really liked Team Green's I liked them all, but Team Green was so funny. I just loved who Joe met. So who would like to talk about Team Green and who was waiting for her as they drove up?
Joe met her little sister,
Her younger,
Yes.
and didn't she say the younger sister looked like her
her
daughter?
daughter.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't even know she had kids.
Yes.
I
She was
missed
the
that.
young mother.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think she
Yeah.
mentioned them
Right.
a day or two
That was in the
ago.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah, or I just totally didn't pick up. And she said, "You look just like my daughter."
Mm-hmm.
And then she commented about her being dark skinned and her younger sister being light skinned and whatever, but understanding that they're coming from one of the same parents, you know, and stuff. So
Yeah.
And her little
But-
sister's name is Udana DeLay.
yeah,
Yes.
Donna.
That Donna name is in there again.
Mhm.
Yeah, I caught that too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. What I thought was really interesting too is that the sister was talking about how the family was prepared to help her if she had any issues like with her
My
adoption.
favorite part.
And I'm like, it turns out that she really didn't have, I mean, do you know what I'm saying? They
Right.
were prepared.
She
they
had a
were pre-
great life.
Yes, they
She
were
grew up
prepared to
with
help
a-
her in case. Yeah.
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 But she's the older of the two sisters that
Mhm.
grew up together,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
is she the younger?
Yeah. No, she's the oldest.
She's
'cause
the
they
older and
adopted
the other
her, and
one
then
is
they got-
biological.
You know, that old story of you adopt and then you get pregnant. That's
Yes,
basically what
yes.
happened with that. But yeah,
They
she
didn't
said I had
mention
a
the
wonderful life.
sister, the younger sister talked about, or was talking, they were talking about that conversation. And so then Joe was talking about how, what a wonderful childhood she had.
Yes.
And, you know, and I may have missed it, but I don't remember her sister explaining what kind of childhood she had. And so, but Joe was saying that she was sorry that
Yes.
she had the kind of childhood that she had.
Yes.
But I wondered if they cut that part
I
out
think
because
so.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any, I don't remember hearing
Yep.
any
But
explanation or
you're
details.
right, Melissa. You got the feeling that something wasn't quite maybe right, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But I thought it was so sweet. The little sister was like, she's just gotta, so we can go on. She's got to let go of this anger.
I
and-
think she doesn't have any. But that's what they were expecting. That's what they were worried about. That's what they had heard happens
Yeah.
when people.
But it was so sweet because
Yes.
he was ready to take like whatever came.
Yeah.
It touched me so much.
To be the
Yeah.
youngest.
That's
yeah.
her. They were ready and prepared to help her in any way she needed to be helped. And I thought that was so sweet.
I did too. I thought it was
Yeah.
so touching.
Yeah, I thought so too. Let's talk about a Team Red. So we've just come off of the cemetery visit and we're heading down the road to see who else we can find. And they all look alike. I'm telling you, just this family all looks
Very
alike.
much so.
Yeah,
There's a couple of teams that their families, the
Yes.
resemblances are just amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because the one from last week, oh my God, he
the
just looks like
sister. Yeah.
everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's like
Yeah, all of them
oh,
just looked alike. Same
Yeah.
thing with, this week and
this was his uncle. I mean,
his
no,
uncle.
this was his cousin, and
Cousin.
he showed a picture of his uncle. And
Yeah,
it was the uncle that looks so.
because their dads were brothers, if
Yes.
if I remember right.
Okay.
But he said you look like the family.
Yeah,
You look like so
and
they
that
were
and
first
that uncle
cousins.
is still alive, so that's good. At least he's not gonna be able to meet his father because his father's passed away. But
Passed, so he should be able to
maybe
meet the
it'll
uncle.
maybe it'll help to be able to meet the uncle if he gets to
Mhm.
be, on this part of the journey.
family. Is he the one? No, the other guy on Red said when he met the folks, he said, "You're the first ones I've ever met that was family that kind of
Yeah.
looks like him."
Yeah.
That just hurt, because you grew up in one experience and whatever, and trying to understand and embrace what other
Exactly.
people are going through, and because I only know what I know
Right.
and what's
Exactly.
around me.
Exactly. And if
Yeah.
you guys out there in Zoom world, hear my dog whining. I'm sorry.
Don't hear, I didn't hear it.
He's down the hallway whining to try to get into somebody's room. I guess it won't let him in their room. So I don't know what's going on with him, but I apologize if you hear him whining. He's not being killed or anything. He's just mad because he can't get into somebody's
He's
room.
He's
He's unhappy because he wants to be in a room that apparently nobody wants him to be in because maybe they're eating.
Yeah.
He's trying to get their food. So, Team Blue. Team Blue.
Yay.
Oh, Blue. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
I love their support of each other.
I know.
It's just amazing. The whole car ride, Abe's talking about, I've had 3. I want you to meet somebody,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that just, I just love them, I just
Yes.
love them. They're so wonderful and supportive. Jenny, do you want to talk to us about who was waiting when they got?
So Eric got to meet his cousins Gordon and Andy.
And they're
and
maternal cousins.
Maternal, yes. And he said, you guys are the first ones I've ever met from the family.
Yeah, that was who
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
Oh
first
my gosh.
biological. First
And it was just,
biological.
I mean, I was just bawling at that point because we all wanted him to meet someone so,
We
Yes.
did, I
so
know.
badly. And he was just so, what did he say?
Oh.
Something like, this is only the beginning and it's the best thing and best
Best
gift
thing
I've
that's ever
And they were
happened to
just
me.
so
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
And it
They were
just,
just
and there's,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just it's the
That's the
bond, you know.
picture of the mother, both of
Yeah.
them, right? In the
Yeah, it was
Yes.
a picture of him in the tub. And I thought it was interesting because he started talking about how his adoption went through, sounds like maybe a Catholic church, because he talked
I
about,
think so.
The archdiocese.
yes, and so went through that. And so somehow somebody got that picture because he had seen a picture of it, and then they had the picture of it, of him as a baby. And then they showed him the picture of his mom when she
Yeah.
was little. And he was just like, look at her ears. He's saying, she's got my ears. I'm like, no, you've got her ears. He was saying it backwards, you know. But that thrill of seeing somebody that looked like him was just,
Oh, it was all, he was just so overcome. I mean, he just
yeah.
couldn't believe it was just, and Abe was like right there, like so happy for him.
And
And so
crying
just,
for
it
him,
was
and
just
oh,
incredible. It was incredible.
and no, but I love you. They're just how much, you know, telling each other how much they loved each other, and
Yeah.
thanking each other for supporting,
Sharing that time. Yeah.
coming on the race with each other.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And did you hear the little hint of hopefully you're gonna be able to, wasn't meet her, but discover more. I
Or
mean, there was a
something.
little hint. Sometimes you hear a, but then they did say, then I was worried though, then, because the cousin said, we loved her so much. And I went, "Ah."
Oh, you
Oh,
heard? Yes.
I didn't hear
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. So I'm hoping that his mom is still alive. You would have thought at that point they would have told him and not let him have his hopes up. You know, usually they don't let those hopes go further than that first meeting when they're talking about somebody, because that's hurtful. You know, that's
Yeah.
painful to drag that kind of,
Very painful.
yeah. And I think it's disrespectful to the person looking for somebody. If you don't tell them right off, I think that's, yeah, don't give them the hope. And so, and he could have been referring to, we loved playing with her when we were a child. We loved blah, blah, blah. So it might not have been, because, you know, we all listen to those words. We all do every season.
But we're looking for leads.
Yeah, we're
Right.
looking for leads. We're looking for clues. That's what we all do.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really hoping, I'm really, really hoping he gets to meet her. And maybe she's changed her mind about, I don't want to be found, you know, or even if he doesn't get to meet her on the show afterwards, you know, if she doesn't want to be on camera, that maybe this will be one of those where he gets to, because who
Yeah.
cares at this point, as long as he meets her. We would like to see it, but that's
Yeah.
selfish, right?
Right.
We want what's best for the teams and who they're looking for, the family members, to make the best connection possible for them. That's what we want.
We root for all of them until
Right.
day 10.
Exactly, we do. Root for all of them until day 10, and I think we're
Then
going to
it's
see.
up for grabs.
Yep, exactly. Then it's up for grabs. Then we're like, okay, whatever. Right now, we just want to see who you're going to meet. But yeah, like I said, it needs to be done in a way that's healthy for everybody. So it can start out in a good way. And so, some great, we went through all some
And we
great,
got all through.
great family connections were made on day 4. They were wonderful. There were wonderful family connections. And so, next week we'll be halfway through. So
I know, that's
interesting.
unbelievable.
I know.
Interesting. And so if we talk for a few minutes about, first they come on and it's a little different. It almost sounded like Darth Vader when they came onto the building. You know, I was like, that dark sound. I was like, oh my gosh, it sounds like Darth Vader's coming in to tell them what the results were. And again, And again, you know, that camaraderie with the teams as they're introducing who they met and everybody tearing up for one another and cheering everybody on. I just love that so much.
Yeah.
But it's different this time because the key really is, did that team that's in last place beat somebody in the challenge, you know? And that's what we're really looking for. I mean, it's almost kind of overtaken who comes in first place.
Right.
Because we want to know, is that team going to get out of that elimination?
Right.
And poor Team Red just didn't. They just didn't. They had trouble.
Because this is 2 weeks they've been in that position.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so hopefully they'll get out of there. But here's the good
By
news.
now, I mean, but I
They're
said,
not going home. So
I've been
even,
trying to keep up with strikes, like if there were strikes,
yes.
Yeah.
and I don't think anyone would have had a third strike today.
Not this week, but if they don't
No.
get out of there next week,
Next week, yeah.
technically would have been a third
So,
strike. So
so if they stay there next week, that's actually okay because they would have
That's
had a
right.
third strike and had to go. So
exactly. But there's still got to be something that the winning teams are getting. There's going to be something extra on day 10 because he
I'm
said
telling
that
you,
day one.
there's another shoe to drop.
That's right. He
Yeah.
said that
Right.
day one. Dan said that
Yeah.
day one that there's going to be something for. We needed to keep track of the teams that were coming in day one because that was going to mean something on day 10. So
Because Black did it 2 times in a row,
Yes,
number one,
yes.
right?
yes, and then on this night on day.
And the girls got it one
Yeah.
time.
And on
There
day 4, it was Team Blue. It was
Team
all
Blue.
a great day. It was all
Yeah.
a great day for them. And
Yeah.
and who wants to tell what the benefit is for the next day? Do you guys remember what the benefit is?
Yeah, everybody has to pull off to the road for 5 minutes or something. Yeah, they can't drive for
Yeah.
5 minutes.
No, they
while-
got to dance.
Yeah, no.
They had to
No,
dance.
no, they don't have to
No,
dance. They
They
just
don't
have to
dance.
pull
They
over
just
for
gotta
5
pull
minutes.
over for 5
Yeah.
minutes.
But they
I-
all danced.
That was funny.
But they have a different definition for what it is.
That's
Yeah.
right. Go
It's
ahead,
not
Laura.
a penalty that Blue is giving the other teams.
Yes.
It is a penalty that Dan is giving the other team.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's what Team Blue deemed at the very end. If you watch through till the very end,
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny because it's really true. Because all they did was come in first, and that was the benefit. So they're not saying, okay, you guys we've chosen all of you to have to pull over for 5 minutes. So it really is Dan's fault or the production. It's production's fault. So anyway, that should be kind of fun, and that might make a big change too. And it's not going to make a change. It's not going to make a big change in the challenge because that challenge time starts when they get there. But it
Right.
make a really big change in who comes in for second or third. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see. Was there anything else that happened on the show that I forgot to mention or we didn't mention that you wanted to talk about? I just don't want to
I
miss.
think we covered it
I
all.
think everything
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
covered.
Yeah.
I never want
I have in my notes.
to miss anything, and but I thought this was a good show. I thought day 4 was pretty good, and I'm really kind of liking that I'm not worried that somebody's going to get a strike and go home. That's stress,
And
Yeah,
and
that
how
is gonna be
long can they
stressful.
stay at the bottom? You said they
until day
have to
9. If you're on the
Day
bottom,
9.
day 5,
day 9,
Yeah.
they can stay
they
down.
can stay.
Mm.
Yeah, anybody that's down there day 9 will then be eliminated and won't go to
Yeah.
day 10.
Okay. So they won't make day 10.
So
So,
does
but
that-
I mean, in theory, they could stay through day 8,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then whoever's ends up
Still
in day
there.
9, never having been there before, if they're there in day 9,
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
That's just
So that's your third strike.
Yep, that
Well, it could be
basically
your first strike.
it could be. That's just
Yeah.
Right. But it's
you're out.
also the strikeout.
That's
you
that's
know.
a strike out of there. Yeah.
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 So
We'll see what
Yeah.
happens next week.
this is going to
And
be
anybody
interesting.
expect anybody, because it seems like I don't know if we can even predict who they might be seeing.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's still siblings
There's
out there.
siblings, there's gonna be siblings still out there for Team Black, I'm sure. 'cause
Yeah,
her mother's passed away, so it
Passed away.
can't be
Yeah.
the mom, and she's already met her dad, so there's probably
Yeah.
more siblings, maybe cousins, that kind of thing.
cousins, yeah.
And I'm sure there's more siblings and a mother for Joe for Team Green.
Yeah,
Her
Right.
mom's out there somewhere.
Right.
possibly, yeah.
And then Team Red, he's not gonna meet his dad, but maybe his mom. We haven't heard much about his maternal side, so
Yeah.
maybe maternal, and then of course his poor partner in crime. Are they gonna find anybody for him? You know, I don't know. I think he knew a lot of his family, and so he wasn't really expecting anything, but still that would be fun because they've done that before, you know, in other seasons. They found
And some of them are still young enough that we could probably see grandparents.
exactly. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. That's true. And then with Abe and Eric, who knows? I mean, you know, Abe knows his father has passed away, but what about his biological mom? I don't, you know, she's the one. No, she's not the one that said, "Don't come find me." That was Eric's, but
But
so we
she was
don't-
one who said, don't go look for his dad.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Right,
Said
that's
stay away
right.
from
Right.
the father. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. So,
I don't know.
you know,
So he knows his mom then.
Yeah,
his oh, this is true. Yeah, yeah. So
Or
maybe,
was it his adoptive mom that said, don't go look for your dad?
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We'll have to get that. I don't remember. Maybe somebody watching can clarify that for us. Yeah, so there's still a lot of, you know, we got 4 more days of meeting relatives, so 5, 6, 7, yeah. To make sure I didn't count that wrong.
It goes
Yeah,
fast.
It goes,
I know.
it goes really, really fast. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and we've
but
got,
I'm excited, and again, I'm a loyal fan, just like the rest
Yeah.
of you.
and I can't
you know.
wait if we can get the teams on for that
Yeah.
reunion show, because I want to ask them how they felt about all these changes and now,
Yeah.
Yes.
But
especially
some
as
of
it,
them would have watched other seasons.
of course they did,
you
and took
know.
notes and had, you know, everything they're
Yes.
supposed to do, and then they
Yes.
have to throw that out the window because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter anymore. So I can't wait to have a reunion show and talk to them and just see how they felt about being the first season like this with different all these different changes, and if they will have these same changes going further. You know,
What year is this?
we're on 13.
It's year 13, season
Mhm.
13.
It's season 13.
We've been watching this for 13 years.
13
No,
seasons,
no.
because they're
They
double,
get 2 a year.
Right.
Yeah.
2 a year.
Yeah. So 7.
We've still been watching this a long time.
I
Yes.
know. I'm trying to comprehend, and I'm going to tell you guys sometime when I'm sitting and researching, I'll pull up BYU TV and I'll start from season 1
You can't
and
stop at
whatever's
season
still
1, but at least
available.
Season 2. Season
Or
1,
season 2. I think they took one off. Yeah.
they do
But to
not
go back.
show- They do not show season 1.
Yeah, I don't think it's up anymore.
It hasn't been over a long, long time, and I
Right.
see fans saying, "Where's
Yeah.
season 1?" It's it just, you know, it's like one of those pilot shows that doesn't really work. So they took it off. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, thanks everybody so much for being here and helping us to, you know, get through and talk about and kind of pull apart and talk about the emotions on day 4. So we will see you next time as we talk about day 5 of relative race. And really, we love your comments, and if you can answer any of the questions and, you know, that we're trying to figure out, appreciate it.
So
So
if there's something we're missing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah,
saying, speak up.
exactly. Please let us know. Please let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time on Gen Friends. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.